Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. We are going to talk about makeup stuff and life stuff with a little bit of humor mixed in as well. So that said, let's get in it. So today we are going to talk about the very serious topic, the controversial, the polarizing, the family divisive topic of blush. Now, yeah, maybe it's not quite all of that, but it is something that needs to be talked about. Why not? Actually, we are not even going to talk about blush exactly. We're going to talk about the tools that we use to apply blush. And I have a little idea for you that you might want to consider, and I'm almost certain you already have this tool in your collection. So before we even get to that, let me clarify one thing. In this video, we are not talking about cream blush. If your blush comes in a little pot that you got, spool your finger around in, if it comes in a tube that rolls up kind of like lipstick or kind of like a foundation stick, and some of them now even come in tubes, I believe. If the blush you use falls in any of those three categories, I am not talking to you. The best tool that you can use for those products are these two tools right here, your fingers. And it's always better to kind of warm it up on the back of your hand, dip in there really lightly, and then you want to literally pat, 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 pat. And you can always add more. You can't take it away. So that's why you want to start real light and work it up, okay? But today what we're here to discuss is the blush brush. Say that 7 times fast. Blush brush. And just a different way to look at the blush brush and how to use it. And maybe you don't want to use a blush brush for your blush. What do I mean? Does this look familiar? Several of us use this type of brush to apply our blush. I'm going to mess that up before this video is over, I promise you. Comment below how far into this video you think I'm going to totally mess up saying that. But this is the type of brush most of us use, or many of us use, to apply our blush. And, it's nothing wrong with that. It makes perfect sense. I'm looking at a mirror here. It fits right where you would want to put the blush product. And it's nice and targeted. It's not too wide. Very precise application is what you are getting with this, or so you think. And that's good, and that's great. The thing is, with this, because it's packed a little denser, you're going to get a very definite swipe of color. You're going to get a very intense swipe of color, and you're going to get it right there. Now, of course, you can, baby it, use a light, feathery touch, and, kind of work it out. But odds are you're going to get a nice stripe of color right here. And if you're not performing on somebody's stage that evening, you probably don't want that. If you are just doing every day, going to work, going to visit friends, going grocery shopping, going to worship, going wherever you go, if you're just doing basic stuff, you probably don't want that. So how do we get that wash of color, that diffuse blush look where you can't perceive exactly where the blush ends and the rest of your complexion products begin? That is the goal. At least in my mind it is. I want people to look at my cheeks and say, oh, does she have color on? It depends on the way she tilts her face about how much color I can see. That's what you want. Keep them guessing. They'll stare longer. So I submit that you give this a try. Now, ho, ho, ho. When you see it, don't go off. Hear me out. Keep an open mind, okay? Have you ever seen a brush like this? Not quite as wide as your average fluffy brush, but definitely wider than this brush. You see the differences? Okay. See the differences here? And do you see the differences here? Okay. As you can tell, I use this brush for my blush, and I submit that it's a better option for that diffused wash of color. And here's why. With this brush, the bristles, it's all about the bristles. The bristles are packed so densely and so tight that they just give you a very precise application, okay, because of the denseness of the bristles. Whereas the bristles on this brush are nice and free. They're like the flower children of the bristle family, and they just live in their life, right? So this is what I want. This type of looseness in the bristles is what I want when I'm applying a blush, because again, that's going to give me that diffuse wash of color that I'm going for. But you may be thinking, Shannon, you put something that big on your face, that blush gonna go everywhere. And you are absolutely right. If I just went in just with this, I would have huge color in places that maybe I didn't want. It might be overlapping my contour, any bronzing you might do. And you don't want that. You want to be able to precisely control where your blush goes. So how do you get the benefit of these nice fluffy bristles, but still get the control you want? It's all about these fingers again. How do you hold your brush? So normally when we're using our brushes, we hold them maybe like this, right? Sometimes like this, not often. I normally hold my brushes like this, like a pencil, okay? Next time you use a brush like this, slide your fingers up. What happens as you slide your fingers up? The head of the brush gets smaller. It gets more compact. But you still have these fluffy, loose bristles. Even though the head of the brush is now compact because your fingers are up here, you still get the benefit of these fluffy bristles. That's how you work this. So when you're putting on your product, notice where my hands are. My hands aren't back here. My fingers, I'm sorry, aren't back here like a pencil. My fingers are right up here so that I can squeeze. And I'm not going to demonstrate it tonight because I already have some blush on from earlier, but later on I will be uploading my basic face everyday routine, and you'll see it in that routine how I use it. But you know, I slide my fingers up and back depending on what area of the cheek I'm going for, how much color I want to deposit, and I just spin my brush and bring my fingers down and up, and I just wash and wash and wash, and the color deposits beautifully. It's just this diffused wash of color, this very natural looking, barely there hint of color. It's perfect for a less dramatic look, daily look, look going to an event where you don't necessarily want to just shock people. That's what this application is for. If you're going out for a night on the town, a bachelorette party, dinner and a movie, I don't know. If you're going out for a night on the town, you might want the intensity of, you know, a swipe of color right here on top of your contour and your bronzer. Baby, if that's what you want, go for it. I am not even mad, okay? But if you're like me and interested in that more diffused look, give that a try. Again, remember, we just slide our fingers up or back. And the further up we go, the smaller the head of that brush gets, the more compact. When we come down, the brush spreads out again. And you just slide and brush, slide and brush, slide and brush. So the next time you are applying your blush, give this a shot. You never know, you might love it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you will come back and watch a lot. In fact, before you leave, please subscribe. Share this channel with all of your family and friends who might find these types of tips helpful. And after you subscribe, turn on the bell notification so that you will be one of the first to know when I upload videos. That said, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, keep it glam, fam.